Verse 8 said, God can pour on the blessings in astonishing ways, so that you're ready for anything and Lord. Everything. Yes, more than just ready to do what needs to be done. I want to be ready for anything. Yes. I want to be ready for everything. Yes. I want, when something breaks in my life, I want to be able to go and pay for it. Yes. Yeah. Now you get into financial prosperity, you say, come on, break down. Come on. When you really get into prosperity, come on, break down. I bet you won't. I'm serious. Y'all looking at me like I'm funny. When God really start positioning you, because I'm telling you, the magnet, remember I mentioned the magnet? Those little idiosyncrasies that we have on the inside of it, we start fearing when money comes to us and we get over the hump, then all of a sudden we know something's going to pull us back. Come on, y'all know it. And you get up that hill and all of a sudden something's going to yank you down. When you really get in prosperity, you start shaking them chains, you don't even think about it. You look around and say, my Washington has been good for 3 years. Grandfather used to always tell me, and I keep it in my heart, he used to always tell me, he told me, I got a whole bunch of stuff he told me about handling finance. I always tell my wife. But one thing he said, son, when you start saving, don't go back to getting any money out. Because he said that's janky. Y'all don't know nothing about that word. Anybody remember that word? Janky? I tell my wife, I said, I'd rather give you money now before I put it over there. Because it's janky. Don't go to your bank. You stay away from there. You draw the line in the sand. That's a new word for some of y'all. I didn't remember that word back in the day. So you had to be 35 and older for that one. 20 be like, janky? That sounds like Django. No, not Django. Janky. You start going in it and you start getting easier. You go get 20, you go get 40, you go get another 60, you go get another 100. I told you last time, you can tell when you start getting into, when God, you don't have to have a lot of money to understand what prosperity is, because it's for you. And the journey God gave you, not what Wall Street says. Not with your cousin that's got the biggest house and the best car. Not that type of prosperity, but the prosperity that frees you up to get done what God called you in the earth. And I told you, when you start putting money up and you forget where it's at. I mean, y'all heard, well, I got dementia or something. No, I'm not talking about that type. I'm talking about where you don't have that 411 in your head. And you don't hear that red flash in your head. Go get it, go get it. When you can put it up, you won't have to touch it. One of my sons called me up and said he wanted to save some money. That made me feel good. I'm like, doggone it. That's what I'm talking about. I was blessed. I thought, man, that's what I'm talking about. He came over, brought in a money order. I said, boy, go in with your man. A money order? I thought you were going to bring the, this couple of G's. And that's grand for y'all. So he brought it over there in the money order and said, you want to put it, this has been a few weeks ago. Months. Yeah, it's been a little good time. I'm like, man, he wanted to bring it. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Now, if I get him the tithe, we'll be right there. But anyhow, you got to start somewhere. But it's a blessing because now he understands. And he told me, he found out in his life, he said, the beginning of the year to the end of the year, he found out how much money he wasted. And he had nothing to show for it. That's when you start changing. When you start looking over your life, and you don't need the landlord to tell you. You don't need no outside source. You don't need General Motors to tell you. When those external things start telling you, and you wasted money all year, you need to be able to tell yourself and look over your own money and say, man, I wasted a lot of money this year. Now let me say this. Your giving marks your heart's priority. One of the most tangible areas of your life where you can actually see if you're putting God first is in your finances. I'm going to say that again. Your giving marks your heart's priority. One of the most tangible areas of your life where you can actually see if you are putting God first is in your finances. We give as we purpose in our hearts. We give because we get to. not because we got to.
Come on.
If you still don't, I gotta give it. You give it because you want to. You come to God and say, I want to be able to give a tithe of my money. I thank God that He don't want 100% of my money. Yeah. But I can just bring an earnest, a 10% and give it to God and let God do what He wants to do. Because if I honor God with my 10, then guess what? I won't dishonor my 90.
Come on now.
If I honor God with my 10, I won't dishonor the 90. 10%. That doesn't sound small.
Yeah.
Till you have to give it.
Right.
You know, when you hear it, like, oh, man, I can do that. So you telling me God won't, if I make $500, He won't $50, and I still got 400, and I still got 4, and I still. You got 450. 9 times the 50. 9 times the 50 that He won't, you still got it in the 450.
Come on now.
Well, that sounds stupid. Am I going to sound weird?
Yeah.
If you really look at it on layman's terms,
It is.
why am I fighting?
Right.
And when you really want prosperity to start functioning and seep it into your life, then you say, I'm going to go over the 10.
Amen.
I think somebody asked, they wanted to find out, when I say I tithe, I never tithe 10% in a while. I haven't tithed in a long time, since the 90s, the mid-90s. When I say that, is that I don't stop at the 10. That's why I say I haven't done it. I tithe above 10%.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
And in fact, I don't wait to get paid from y'all for my salary to tithe.
Amen.
I tithe for my increase. That means it don't have anything to do with my paycheck. Tithing is not paycheck only.
Amen. That's right.
I might have to sit over next to you. Tithing is not paycheck only. Tithing is whenever increase touch these hands in yours. Hold your hand up. Hold your hand up. Whenever money come into your hands in any increment, that means tithe.
That's right. Amen.
So you work and you do hair on the side. You don't tithe from where you work at 9 to 5, and then what you do on the side is yours.
Amen.
Wherever your hustle is. I don't care what it is. Maybe you sell cakes and cookies, those that are watching. Whatever stream of income you created, when it touches your hand, you need to get a trigger on it. You need to set your mind that I'm going to honor God with 10%.
Amen.
One of the things it said in verse 7 in the chapter 2 Corinthians 9, it says, talks about there's 3 levels. There's grudgingly, there's necessity, and then there's cheerful. I don't know about you, but I don't want grudgingly, because those that are grudgingly, those who refuse to accept God's plan for prosperity, those are the ones that do it grudgingly. When you do it grudgingly, I ain't receiving that. You know, somebody has to extort you. Somebody has to use force. Somebody has to persuade you. And then when you come, you give it like this.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Sometimes I look at some folks, they come up, the longest walk. That's the longest walk. I'm like, damn, don't take that